Well, good evening. We are here having our ESL discussion today about reopening RVA. How do you feel about businesses reopening? And my students that I have are Jackie, and she's from Mexico and actually not living in RVA, but living in Northern Virginia. And I have Kyung Chin from South Korea, living here in RVA, and I have Raja from India, living in RVA. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
It's Monday.
Surviving.
Yes, it is a Monday, but people watching this will think it's Tuesday. But so, I'm excited. Tell me a little bit about what's going on where you are right now. Anything new?
No, I mean, every day I think I see more cars in the street, like the traffic is heavier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But otherwise, we are still wearing masks when we go outside, and the parks are still closed. Today I went to see if any like natural reserves or something were open to walk around. They are still closed, and they still say till further notice. So
okay.
Everything is still closed over here.
Kyung Chin, do you have anything to report? Anything new?
Actually, nothing new. I always the same. We stay at home, and sometimes we go for a walk. Yes.
And Raja, anything new with you?
Just going as normal. I'm just trying to be myself, trying to be more disciplined.
Okay. Now, how long will you continue to work from home? Have you heard anything from your business?
So yeah, as far as I know, so for the latest information, I can work till June 1st.
Okay.
But they will inform once we come to the end of the May.
Okay. And how about your family back in India? When have you heard anything more about when they can come and join you?
So they are opening a little bit, like trains are started to commute maybe next week, but we still now we don't have any idea about flights, international flights.
Okay.
As soon as we have that information, we'll plan accordingly.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, yeah, my question is, how do you feel about businesses reopening? And just to let you know that the questions that I have for you actually come from a survey. This is a survey that I gave to my church, and some of the people have already responded. I'm hoping that more and more will respond over the next 2 or 3 days, because we realize that we might be allowed to have our church services on Sunday. And if that's the case, then we need to be ready for that, and also to understand how the congregation feels about getting together next Sunday. Now, when would we get together for ESL? I would think that's going to be a few more weeks later, because I want to make sure that we know what we're doing in the new time of COVID-19 before we start inviting more people to come in. So my first question is, as local governments begin to lift bans against meetings in places of worship, which of the following would best describe your attitude about returning to a worship service in a building? So I gave you a few choices there. Anybody have an answer for me?
I will wait a little longer. I mean, if the service via Zoom or YouTube is still available, I would prefer watch it there a little while, because it's not as if the virus is gone. It's still present and the threat is still there. So I will still be cautious.
Okay. How about you, Kyung Chin?
Actually, I am undecided yet, but I want to return as soon as they open. But I think I will have some concern about virus still. So if there's some measures for protecting from virus, then I can decide about it. Yes.
Okay. Raja, what are your thoughts?
I will also go for C, which is I will wait longer. How much longer? So we just have to wait and see how things working. Like, so we already saw some not so good news about some of the states already opened, and so if you take example of Texas, so they already have a 35% increase in the test results, positive test results.
Okay.
So I think it's nice, good idea to wait for some time, see how the virus is behaving, how the local environment is based on that. So it also depends on the work, commuting the work. Like, so if the office is saying that you can work from home, that means they already have made some kind of research. So yeah, so I'll wait some time.
Okay. And I as the pastor, I have to think, there might be people that really want to come now. And so it seems like if there's enough people that really want to come, and if we can make sure that certain precautions are taken, and we may not even have agreement on what kind of precautions are the best ones to be taken, but yeah, in my case, I'm going to have to make a decision, and some of the leaders in the church, we're going to have to make a decision and decide, what is it that's going to make people feel comfortable about coming back. But I know that there are some people who just aren't going to come back for maybe a couple months, even if everyone else is coming back. And I just have to understand that. What do you think I should do, in your opinion, if there are people that are going to stay away for 2 weeks or 2 more months? What should I do about that, even if I open up? What are your thoughts? I have some thoughts.
Continue with the lives in Facebook. If you can upload it also in YouTube. I found it comfortable in YouTube rather than the Facebook lives. But yeah, because that way they can still be engaged. They can still be catching up on what the church is doing.
Yeah, I think even with ESL, like I said, if we started church this Sunday, it's going to be a couple more weeks before we would do ESL. But even when we do ESL, there's going to be people that will stay away for one reason or another. So maybe we need to have some sort of recording. And perhaps we can make it a recording on Tuesday nights. Maybe record the lesson Tuesday night and then show that the next Tuesday night for the people who don't come. Maybe that would be the way we would do it. So the next question is, what other type of activity best signals to you that it is time to open in-person activities at a worship center? And that's pretty complicated, but what kind of things should be happening around us that would make it seem like it's time to open up a worship place, whether it's a mosque or a temple or a church or a club? So there's several there. There's about 7 choices, and then there's all of the above, and then there's I'm not sure. So let's not look at the all of the above yet or the not sure. Just tell me, which ones do you feel are really important indicators?
Well, the number of confirmed cases that have the virus, it has to be low.
Okay.
Definitely.
So a lower number, yeah. It's interesting because New York State is recording the same number now that they were having just before we went into quarantine. And so that's good because we've gone down, but that's the number that we were at when we thought we needed to go into quarantine. So I would like for it to be even lower.
Yeah.
Kyung Chen or Raja, do you have one that you like?
I'll go with the E and G. So the social distancing and stay-at-home cautions have ended, and also an effective vaccine is widely available.
Okay, social distancing and stay-at-home cautions have ended, and an effective vaccine is widely available. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, but the issue is the vaccine is not supposed to be available till 1 year in effect or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's too long. That's too long.
Yeah, and I think that social distancing, now stay-at-home cautions, that's different, but
Yeah.
I think social distancing, though, is probably with us for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I had 2 meetings today. One was at a bank, and the way I had to do it was I had to go through the drive-through to have a discussion with the bank manager. And I've never done that before, you know. And then I had another meeting with someone, and it was good, though. We were in an office, and the office had been closed for several weeks. And now it's open, but open selectively. And so we had to have the meeting at 3 because no one else was going to be there at that time, or no one else to be in the room. But then we ended up meeting outside. So it was 3 of us meeting outside and keeping our social distance from each other.
Okay.
But we had a meeting at the church on Saturday, and we limited it to 10 people per meeting, and we kept social distance. So we met in the room where we have our ESL class. We call that the fellowship hall. And we left the tables in there, but we had people sitting on the outside of the tables. And so the middle of the room was empty of people. People were all around the edges of the room, the 10 people that were in there. And so that was kind of an interesting situation that we had. Kyungjin, you didn't answer. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think testing has to be widely available because the best option is vaccine development, but I think it's too far away from now. So I think at least testing has to be widely available.
Testing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to be tested. To be able to be tested. I don't need to be tested, but I would love to be able to just go and grab a test. And there's lots of different types of tests out there. So some of them are fast tests and some are slow. I don't want a slow test. I think that would be, if I took the test and it was a slow one, I would be in agony wondering, what's going on. I had a friend. What's that?
And also, I think only one time of test is not enough. So you have to periodically test because you keep roaming, keep talking to the people, and though you are social distancing, you never know. Probably once in a week or twice a week, you have to go through the tests. So once it is, I believe so.
Wow. Okay. Well, then, question number 3. This is an interesting one. If, for example, in your place of worship, they said you can come, but you have to wear a mask, would you do that?
I'm already doing that. What's the difference? I'm good. I will do it.
Yeah, I got my mask in my pocket. Well, see, when I had the meeting on Saturday, it was really hard because I was leading music and wearing the mask. I was getting overheated.
That's the thing.
So
you cannot sing with a mask.
So I did this. I brought it down like that. Of course, I wasn't exposing anyone else, but I was exposed. My nose was exposed. But otherwise, I got too hot. But yeah, I think that we're wearing masks anyway. Now, some people answered so far that they would rather not attend if they have to wear a mask. At home, you don't have to wear a mask. You can just watch the video and interact that way. And some people said they weren't sure. So Kyung-Chin and Raja, how do you guys feel about wearing a mask? Would you do it?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I will wear a mask. Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Raja, do you have a mask?
Yeah, I do. I do have a mask.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Do you feel funny when you go out to a store and you're wearing a mask, but you see all these people who aren't wearing masks?
Not at all.
No, me neither.
I mean, I feel funny for them. It's like, how come you're not wearing a mask?
Yeah, I feel how come you're exposed? I mean, seriously.
Oh, you're asking about them? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would feel actually, funny or sorry. You can.
Now that I have to go even biking places, I don't even take off my helmet because I don't have nowhere to take it to. So, and plus it's another shelter for my hair. So I keep on the helmet, and I'm shopping or anything with my helmet on, and I forget about it until so many people look at me weird, and I was like, oh yes, I'm wearing a helmet. That's why they're looking at me weirdly. Just
in case you fall in the supermarket, you're wearing the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wearing a mask, I think, is important. But now there's another question here. How would you feel if when you went to your place of worship, there was somebody there with a thermometer gun checking your forehead to check your temperature?
It's okay as long as it's the one with no contact. That would be fine. I mean, hey, it's a plus. It's temperature checkup free.
Well, Kyung-Chin, how would you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's necessary. Yeah, and it will be good. Yes, no problem about that.
And Raja?
Yeah, I think I have also no problem, but I think we can have a thermal cameras where you don't have to check. It will automatically figure out based on the temperature. Right now, in all the airports, they are doing that. Instead manually doing it, you have a camera and somebody just sit and watch the temperature.
Yeah, but do you agree that, well, small establishments or places cannot afford thermal cameras? It's cheaper and easier to have a thermometer.
Yeah.
Thermal cameras would be better, though, because it wouldn't be so evasive looking, like pointing at someone, just somebody can sit there at the camera watching and they see this person come in with his face all red like mine. My face is always red.
I think in coming days the thermal cameras will be cheaper because they are going to use it in the massive.
Yeah, it will rise in demand, so the price will go down.
There'll be an app on your phone pretty soon. If Apple doesn't do it, Samsung will get it done. But there'll be an app, and all you got to do is just take your phone and go like this. Do a sweep. Yeah. Well, what about meeting at a different time? Like, for example, our church meets at 10:30 on Sunday mornings. So we would say we're going to have a meeting at 9:30 for some people and at 10:30 for other people. So would you be willing to change the time that you normally would go to your worship service so that people can spread out more?
Yes, because that means there is less people, less chances of spreading the germs.
Okay. And you probably want to be in the first group because it's been sanitized the week before.
True.
It's funny because when when I was in Kazakhstan, I had this church that I helped to get started. And in the beginning, we were meeting in this rental place, and there were two rooms there, one room for children's ministry and one room for the regular adult ministry. And we had to borrow chairs from people's homes. And so they loaned them to us permanently. And the chairs were there. And so what was funny was that people would come to church early. Everybody came to church early. You know why? There weren't enough chairs.
To select the best seats?
Yes, there weren't enough chairs. If they came late, they'd have to stand. And so that's kind of cool, you know. So it could be that we might start a 9:30 service, and at first people are like, oh, I don't want to get up that early. And then they're like, oh, man, I don't want to wait till 10:30 and go after people have already been there.
Yeah.
We'll come up with some plans, though, for that. So, Kyungchin, what do you go to church here?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What time do you normally go to church?
9 a.m.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
and if they said, would you be willing to go at 10, for example, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, yes. I think it's a good idea because we need a low capacity in the building, so I need to do that. Yes.
And Raja, if do you go to a temple, or where do you go to worship, or do you go anywhere?
Yeah, I go to temple,
And
but not frequently, but probably a month or 2 months.
Okay. And so if you'd probably have to find out when is the big crowd, and you would want to avoid the crowd.
Yeah.
And Jackie, do you go to church there in Northern Virginia?
Yes, actually the mass that I attend to is at 6 p.m. So, and it's mostly the one that is less crowded. So that would be great for me.
Okay, so hopefully it will stay a small crowd. That would be good. All right, well, let's see. I've got one more question. So how do you feel now? Two of you have children. Yes. How do you feel about children's activities at your place of worship? Would you want them to start now, or would you want to wait before they get started? What do you think? Kyungchin, what do you think?
I think I want to send my children, but there's have to be some guidelines have to be followed, because it's very hard to control a young child. So they need a wear mask or social distancing is very hard to follow. So I need to think about it.
Can you imagine? I mean, the way kids are, if you make them wear a mask, you know, the whole time they're going to be doing this, you know, and rubbing their face and, you know, licking the walls. Not your kids, but, you know, I was a kid once. And Roger, how do you feel about your children going to your place of worship?
I think I would wait for school opening. So when the schools say that they are ready to join, then I would think that is the time when they can go out for normal meetings, even with the meeting with other children.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, overall, how do you all feel about the way things are going right now and what the future looks like? Let's conclude with that. What are your thoughts?
I think from personally, I am not so what's going on, we have to bear with it. So I'm just waiting to surpass this time. But if you take globally, this is not a good time. So many businesses have lost their businesses. So many countries have lost are going down because of this. Many people are losing jobs. I know personally my friends are losing their jobs. So I don't know. It could happen to me, but I'm hoping that it won't happen. But things are not going in good direction. Yeah, we just have to wait and see, to believe and hope, having hope that everything will go well.
Yes, yes.
Within a short period of time.
Kyung-Chin, what do you think?
But realistically, I don't think it is gonna it's gonna happen very quickly.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Kyung-Chin?
Yeah, I think things will get back to normal not very soon because it takes a very long time. So we need to keep more patience and try to adjust to these circumstances.
Okay. And you work from home, and Roger works from home, so that's good. I'm working from home for the most part. And Jackie, what do you think?
I think that just like them, it's gonna take some more time to go back to normal, which I don't think it's gonna be our old pre-COVID normal. It's gonna be different normal, but still, we have to be patient and we have to understand that it's not only us who is in risk, but everyone around us. So we have to follow certain guidelines to make sure that everybody is safe.
Right, right. Okay. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for being with me this evening and having this conversation, and hope to see you again soon.
Sure. Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.